everyone. Welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm your host, Jason Teal. I missed last weekend due to some unfortunate news I had received and had to process, but here I am back at it now. Today, we'll be diving into the San Francisco 49ers' first week of organized team activities, the OTAs. It's an exciting time as we get our first glimpses at how the team is shaping up for the upcoming season. I'll be highlighting who stood out, both good and not so good. So let's get started with the positive, shall we? So the good. Well, first, of course, how can you not have good Deebo Samuel? Just him showing up is a good thing. But he did made the notable appearance. Looked pretty fit, motivated. His participation in particularly, I can't speak today, is particularly significant given that he was the only veteran star of the offense to be there. Whether it's because he's filming that Netflix show or because he's feeling the heat from recent draft picks, Samuel's focused demeanor is promising. Yes, I'm kind of reading off all my notes here, so it might look like I'm reading it because what I am doing. All right, next good, Nick Bosa again. That's awesome that he's actually at OTAs. Typically skipping OTAs. He does that. He normally, does his thing. What I think in Florida, but it's great to see him here at OTAs. It's going to help lift up the rest of the defense that is there, and it's just a big positive sign that he wants to improve himself and he wants to be there for the team. All right, next comes up Ricky Pearsall. I really got to look up how to pronounce that properly. But he stepped up in place of Brandon Aiyuk. Obviously, Aiyuk isn't there because of his whole contract thing, which I still am going to say that I've been saying forever. We'll get him signed. Anyway, back to Ricky. He didn't beat D'Lo, Deommodore Lenoir. But he did catch 2 passes for 30 yards against Ambry Thomas. His performance could impact Aiyuk's contract negotiations, giving the team some leverage, but I don't really think that's going to be the issue. I think Aiyuk's going to get his money. It'll be around probably $30 million a year or something like that. Anyway, Ricky, he did okay. I think he's coming along. Remember, he is a rookie to the NFL. He did some great things in college, but sometimes it might take a year. But who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get him in there. All right, so Dominic Pooney. He showed some versatility by playing at right guard. Right guard's good. Experienced across multiple positions in college. Pooney's ability to step into the backup right guard is crucial. His performance adds depth to the offensive line. Can't hurt to have that offensive line. I think maybe he might slide over. Who knows? Once he gets into that right guard, I think he's versatile enough. I watched some of his tape in college. I think he could pull off going to the right tackle. I think it could work. Braden Willis, tight end, is making a case for that second tight end spot. Cam Latu still injured, and Eric Saubert isn't performing all that great. Willis's athleticism and ability to beat man-to-man coverage stands out. His blocking ability will be a key factor moving forward. Blocking is always important on our team, especially if you can't have that tight end blocking and catching, but mostly blocking. He's got to go to tight end university is what he needs to do. But until that comes up again, he's going to have to just learn as much as he can from Kittle and go forward. And I think from what I've seen and from what I've heard, he is doing really well. Now, next is kind of a mix. Yitum and Yassin had good starts. shut down Yidam. He shut down a fade pass from Purdy to Samuel, and Yassin broke up a pass intended for Pearsall. Their performance bolsters the secondary, providing depth and competition, and neither of those things are bad things. So I think one of these two are going to start. I think I still am not great on Thomas. I think one of these two might steal his spot. Now, someone we haven't heard from in a while, Mr. Danny Gray. He caught 3 passes without a drop. Big improvement from previous off seasons. If he continues to play with this type of confidence, he'll be able to keep his spot on the team. But again, that's a big if. He has to continue playing good in the off season and in preseason. Jordan Mason, I like JP. I really do. His style, I like. I personally think, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think he has that bit of Frank in him. He's gonna just pounds it really good. I think he's gonna turn out being a really great running back, and he's improving. His catchability, his aggressive running style, consistent improvement highlights him as one of the team's most underrated players. Yes, that is a quote, but I don't remember who it was from. But anyway, I just watching him even during the last season when he was able to get in. I think he's going to be a great backup between after CMC, maybe after Mitchell. I'll go into Mitchell a little bit, but yeah, he's. I think he's going to stay. Now Dobbs, our newer quarterback, he completed 8 of 11 in his first practice, indicating a quick grasp of the offense. His mobility and ability to throw on the move makes him a viable backup. Remember that. He is a backup. He's a decent backup. I don't think he will ever, at least in the near future, be a starting quarterback. They tried him in other places. It just didn't work out. Maybe in the future he can pull off. Was it over in Seattle? But something of that effect. Wait 10 years and then get up there. But as for just OTAs, he's doing really good. Trent Taylor, another name we haven't heard from in a while. Happy he's kind of back on the team. He caught a touchdown pass during 7-on-7s. Thought his place on the team remains uncertain. Though his place on the team remains uncertain, his performance adds an interesting dynamic to the wide receiver competition. So yeah, he might be that 5th, 6th. Maybe he'll be on special teams or something to secure a spot. But yeah, he did good during OTAs. We'll have to see how he does in preseason. Now, not so good. Ambry Thomas. He struggled. He was consistently beat in practice. And his performance raises doubts on his ability to make the team, which is pretty good for the other guys, Yidam and Rock Yassin. Brock Purdy, unfortunately, he was accurate with short passes but failed to connect on the deep throws. Despite his overall good track record, his inconsistency in deep passes was evident. I think that'll come back to him. I mean, he was never a super deep thrower anyway. He did those short to mid, 10 to 20 yard ones. Those are his bread and butter. I'm sure he's going to be fine with that. Yes, it would be great if we could get him to do some more deep passes, but let's stick with what he's good at, and he'll keep improving. But yeah, so far OTAs haven't been great for him, but they're okay. Christian McCaffrey, he was absent through, though explained by personal commitments. Uh, I read a bunch of things thinking, oh no, he's not there. He might. It's all about his contract and future with the team. No, there was some personal commitments that kept him away. So I really don't think there's a major issue here. And again, going back to Brandon Ayuk now, Brandon Ayuk's absence obviously was due to his contract negotiations. Um, I don't think that's going to be an issue either. We all have been fans for a while, I'm sure. We all know how the 49ers work. We know that he'll get signed later in the offseason. It could be as late as um, Bosa was. You know, his was almost right up to the beginning of the season. So you never know. Look at the past 4 years and all the big signs, and you'll understand. It's gonna happen. Everyone, it's gonna happen. Now, Juwan Jennings didn't show up either, um, despite being given a second round tender. His absence, obviously, he wants a bigger contract too. So I guess it will all depend on what Ayuk gets to see how much we can give Juwan Jennings. It would be nice to keep him, but if we don't, yeah. And our other rookie wide receiver, Jacob Cowing, he wasn't absent. He was absent. Maybe he has a injury or something. That's what I heard. Uh, his participation, though, he needs to be there, and not being there is just not a good sign for him. Um, so let's hope that if it is an injury, he heals up quickly enough so he can get back into practice and OTAs and preseason. Bernardo Green, the cornerback, he kind of mixed day. He broke breaking up a pass, but also committed a penalty. I guess he has that tendency for penalties. Um, Hopefully, they can work that out during practice, get coaching on him, and he'll end up being a really good cornerback. But so far, yeah, not the greatest during OTAs. Eric Saubert and Cameron Latou, those two tight ends I mentioned before. They were both struggling during OTAs. Latou is still recovering from an injury. Definitely underwhelming compared to Braylon Willis. I think Braylon Willis is going to earn that second spot behind Kittle, and we'll see which one of these two can pick up the third spot. Now, Ronnie Bell dropped a pass over the middle. He needs to step up. It's I don't know if he's going to make it. I honestly don't. If he's going to make it, it's going to be for special teams. But even his special team work last year wasn't all that thrilling. And we definitely could use a returner. So, Ronnie, if you're ever happen to listen to this, you need to pick it up, man. um, if you want to stick to the team, want to stay in the NFL, you're going to have to show that you can catch that ball. All right, going on. Malik Collins and Jake Brendel. They were both absent. Brendel dealing with a knee tendonitis, excuse me, not tinnitus, the hearing thing, which I have. But they need to be monitored. They Collins needs to be there more than Jake does, but they both really could use to be there. Hopefully, Brendel will get his tendonitis dealt with soon, and he'll be able to join the team. But they both need to really be there. There's not a whole lot else you can say about that. So, on a coaching staff update for that we heard about through OTAs, Brandon Staley, his title, he has a title now. Woohoo! Assistant head coach / defense. His knowledge, his NFL coaching experience in general. I mean, he was a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator. It definitely can't hurt. I think he's going to be super valuable. Nick Sorensen, this is his first year as a defensive coordinator. He's been with our team for a little while, but having that experience behind him, we still have the person coming up from the team, it's our team itself, but now we have someone behind him that has that defensive background and head coaching background. There's nothing bad about this situation. It's awesome. I think our defense is really going to be kicking on all cylinders when the season starts. It's no other way to look at it. I just don't foresee any issues. All right. In conclusion, first week of OTAs, kind of a mixed bag. Standout, Deebo Samuel and Nick Bosa gave reasons to be optimistic, happy, while the absences and struggles of key players highlight areas of concern, of course. The coaching staff, bolstered by Brandon Staley, will play a crucial role in addressing these issues as the team progresses through the offseason and into preseason. I don't know, do you consider, there's a question for everyone. Hopefully I'll get some comments on this. Is preseason considered part of offseason? What do you think? So I appreciate you listening. Oh, you know what? I think there was something else I was going to mention. No, I'll re-listen and mention it on the next episode. So thank you for listening. Let's look forward to what's next for the next weeks of OTA, and hopefully we'll get some of these people back from injury. We'll see some more of our standout stars. See Brock Purdy hit some deep passes, and everything is going to be awesome for this upcoming season. One other thing I want to mention, now that I thought of it, my plan is to hit 2 games this year because they're actually close to me here in Wisconsin. The first game I plan on going to is week 2 against the Vikings. I'm going to try to do a live thing, but I don't know if I'll be able to go live with YouTube because at the moment I don't have 50 subscribers, and you got to have 50 subscribers to go live. So if you guys happen to want to help me out here, I could use subscriptions. Some people subscribing to my channel. So that'd be awesome. Thank you very much for the people that have. Come on, help a guy out. I would love to go live at the Vikings game. The other game I plan on going to is, unfortunately, in late November. It's for the Packer game, the weekend, the game before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be a little bit more prepared than I was the last time I went to Lambeau, which was for the playoff game. Remember where we won 13-10, I think it was, but it was butt-ass cold. I had these hand warmer things that I tried to put in my shoes at halftime, but they didn't warm up fast enough. I should have put them in at the beginning of the game because then they would have been nice and toasty, because they were all nice and toasty on the way home. But yeah, that third quarter and fourth quarter got really cold. But it was fun. And again, I would like to go live for that one as well. I would also like to maybe I can get some fellow fans, if any of you happen to be going to either of these two games. It would be awesome. Maybe you can sit in and we can do a back and forth. I know I've seen a lot of other um, shows like mine that have more than just one person talking, and eventually I might like to try to do that, but I have to learn my programs a little bit more, and the more I learn, better I'll get. Then I'll be able to do that. So, with all that said, again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, and please comment, comment, comment. I want to get better at this. Let me know. Let me know my question if you think preseason is technically part of off season or not. Is it its own little thing? And we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Go Niners.